All right, today I want to talk about going hove-to. So I got a question about it the other day and got into a little discussion, but you know, it's a technique that I use a lot. It's very important. It can save your boat. And there is some technique to it, right? So, you know, if you read about it, it says backwind the jib, turn the tiller the other way, and you're hove-to. But it's not quite that simple. So especially when you're in heavy, heavy winds, and I'm in very light winds right now, but you know, the thing you want to do is once you backwind your jib, once you bring the bow through the wind like an attack, you want to brake, you want to use the headsail to slow down the boat, right? So a brake, kind of a braking motion, and you do that by managing the tiller, right? So you have to control the tiller to keep the headsail just on the other side of the tack until the boat slows and you lose rudder control, right? So the water has to be flowing over your rudder to steer for it to be effective. And so once that stops, that's when you turn the rudder to counteract the effect on the headsail. So I'm going to demonstrate that real quick. So pull the headsail nice and tight, start your tack, and then as soon as the headsail is backwinded, you want to turn the tiller to bring it back the other way, but don't. So you just kind of turn the tiller as far as you need to maintain control of the boat. And right now the boat is decelerating, right? So it's slowing down. And then once the boat starts turning, that's when you take the tiller all the way over to the side and tie it off. And if you don't do that, if you just tie off the tiller in that direction really quick, the boat will spin a lot more violently and much faster. And then, you know, again, if it's really heavy air, light air right now, but you may have to play with the position of the mainsail. So typically I like to have it center line, but if there's a lot of wind and the boat is heeling, you know, you can put it out 10 or 15, 20 degrees, whatever you need to. You can play with it on your boat, but to keep the boat flatter. So, you know, you may need to play with the mainsail a little bit when you're doing this. All right, and then to get out of the hove-to position, you just release your jib and get back on the tiller. All right, so now I'm on a starboard tack, and I'm going to go ahead and go hove-to again, and this time I'm going to be on a port tack. Usually I always go hove-to on a starboard tack because it's a good practice. You have right away that way because you're on a starboard tack, but also you can reach all the stuff for reefing on the starboard side of the boom. But you know, you can go hove-to on either side of the boat. So I'm going to go ahead. This time I'm not going to do the braking piece. I'm just going to pull the headsail tight and then, you know, crank the tiller over the other direction and see what happens. Pull the headsail tight. Tack the boat. The jib is backwinded. And so because I still have a bunch of momentum, the rudder is turning the boat back to the port side. And so now the boat's it's not gonna be able to sail away because the rudder is turned so far, but it's gonna do a complete 360. So now the jib isn't backwinded anymore, and so we're spinning. And you know, if this was a heavy wind situation right now, the wind would be coming from this direction, the boat would be heeling pretty bad before it spins all the way around. Because you only get that stability in the hove-to position. And of course the wind is super light right now. And we'll see where it stabilizes. So yeah, when you still have control of the steering with the rudder, because you have enough momentum, enough water flowing over the rudder, then you do need to use that braking technique. All right, so it looks like this is where the boat has stabilized. All right, well, as always, hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.